part 2 of the NCAA tournament breakdown, March Madness 2011. It's your boy Icecold giving you all the insight and the info that you need to make sure you got the winning bracket. Make sure you sound like a genius around that water cooler or on that email or whatever you're discussing. Just listen to me. I'll take care of the rest. All right. Recap in the East, I had Kentucky going to the Final Four. In the West, I got Duke going to the Final Four. Let's move on to the Southeast region, where the number 1 seed there is the Pitt Panthers. For whatever reason, man, maybe it's just they play an ugly style of basketball. They haven't had too many super skilled ball players in the past. I know they had Brandon Knight, Brevin Knight's little brother. They had DeJuan Blair. They had what's my man's name? Young, who looked like he was about 45, who came out 2 years ago. I can't remember his first name. I mean, they had some skilled ball players, but their style's always been ugly. I've never been a fan of the Pitt Panthers playing the basketball. More the same this year, but I think they're more skilled than they are in past years, which could give them an opportunity to make that move all the way to the Final Four, which has eluded them from the past. But a deserving number 1 nonetheless. I might have went with Notre Dame at this number 1 seed, but Pitt Panthers, they took care of business all throughout the regular season in the best conference in all of college basketball, the Big East. So I can't complain with that. Teams to watch: Kansas State, Utah State, St. John's, and Florida. Now the crazy thing about that is, as far as teams to watch, I got Kansas State and Utah State as teams to watch. They play each other in the first round. What's up with that, committee? This should be a Sweet 16 matchup, man. Utah State 30-3 on the season. I mean, they were a legit team and won their. I'm pretty sure they won their conference tournament, if I'm not mistaken. Won the regular season conference. And playing the number 5 Kansas State team. I want to see that a little later in the tournament. But anyway, those are the teams to watch in my eyes. St. John's, Florida got a generous seeding at number 2. They won their half of the SEC in the regular season and didn't win their conference tournament. Lost to Kentucky, who's a 4 seed. But Florida gets a 2 seed. I'm not really understanding how that goes. But whatever the case may be. Players to watch. You got Jacob Pullen, who had a phenomenal tournament last year. Started off real slow this year, but stepped it up since conference play and has been absolutely amazing in the Big 12. Ashton Gibbs of Pitt. This guy's a flat-out player. I talk about them not having too many skilled players. This isn't one of the guys I'm talking about. He can get it done night in and night out. And I think he's the type of player that can get hot and can lead a team to a Final Four run. So Ashton Gibbs. And of course, you got everybody's darling, or the other darling this year. Kemba Walker was one of them. I talked about him in part 1. The other guy, probably the bigger darling, Jimmy Fredette of BYU, puts the ball in the basket at an amazing rate. You can't front on Jimmy. He's got the size. He's got the shot. He's quicker than people give him credit for. He can handle the rock. Offensively, he is phenomenal. So they know they lost Davies. That definitely hurts him. But Jimmy Fredette is the type of talent that can take a team on a Final Four run, put them on the back, and take them all by himself. He's that good. He can put up numbers at that type of rate. So Jimmy Fredette, BYU, you always want to look out for them. In this region, however, I've got just to lead up to who I got coming out. I got Pitt losing to Kansas State in the Sweet 16. I got St. John's beating BYU in the second round. I got St. John's beating Florida in the Sweet 16, which leaves the Kansas State-St. John's Elite 8 matchup. And I got Kansas State going to the Final Four. Jacob Pullen, I think, is rededicated himself to this Kansas State team. He said as much in a couple past interviews, getting focused on college basketball game, not looking towards the NBA. And I think he's got what it takes, along with his other teammates, to make a Final Four run in a somewhat iffy region. So Kansas State coming out of the Southeast region, going to the Final Four. That's what I got. And then finally in the Southwest region, you got Kansas. I think they're the best team in college basketball. They were the number 2 overall, number 1 behind Ohio State. I think they're the best team in basketball. You got the Morris twins, dominating things. They brought Tyrod Thomas back. You got Morningstar. They're just loaded, man. I really like what Kansas brings to the table. Players to watch, teams to watch in this region. A very, very competitive region. You got Louisville, you got Notre Dame, you got Vanderbilt and Purdue. These are teams that I think that they can make a run. They can challenge Kansas on any given day, and anybody else for that matter in this region. They can challenge each other. Players to watch, of course, I talked about the Morris twins, Ben Hansbrough, the Big East Player of the Year, Hayden Seaver out of Louisville. I really like what he brings to the table. As long as Knowles, I like that backcourt. That backcourt is really strong out in Louisville. The team got going on. And you got Juwan Johnson at Purdue. Also check for him. As far as the region itself, I got Kansas kind of waltzing through UNLV. A good matchup in the Sweet 16 against Louisville, but I think I got them coming out of it. I got Notre Dame losing to Purdue in the Sweet 16, which leads Kansas with Purdue in the Elite Eight with a chance to go to the Final Four, and I got the Kansas Jayhawks taking care of that. In the Final Four, it will be Kentucky versus Duke. I got Kentucky winning that game, getting to the national championship game. Unbelievable. I can't believe I put it down myself, but I really like what Kentucky's bringing to the table. The freshmen that they have are no longer freshmen at this point in the season. Their experience is you need to be in this situation. So I got them going to the championship game against Kansas, who will beat Kansas State in the rubber matchup of their little rivalry here in 2011. Kansas versus Kentucky in the national championship game. Like I said, Kansas is the best team in the country to me. They're not unbeatable, but if I had to put my money on some team winning the national championship this year, I think it's Kansas. I think they come at you at all angles, and they got everything you need to win a national championship. So I got Kansas over Kentucky in the national championship, and yeah, I hope everybody enjoys this tournament, man. Holler at me throughout the tournament. I'm going to be checking up after the first weekend and the second weekend and going into the Final Four. Hopefully getting some people on here to talk about some things, discuss some things. Sit back and enjoy, man. It's going to be lovely. At IMKDiddy on Twitter. Holler at me on the Facebook. You guys got anything to say? Get at me. 100.